The Krill Empire operated on principles of elegant disdain. They viewed lesser species, including humanity, as biological dust motes that merely cluttered their sophisticated galactic thoroughfares. Their flagship, the Aetheric Arbiter, was a cathedral of obsidian metal and humming energy fields, a monument to overwhelming technological superiority. We were cornered in the derelict shipyard orbiting Kepler 86F. The Krill hadn't bothered with negotiation, they had simply enclosed us. A wave of psychic pressure, designed not to kill, but to pacify, washed over our small contingent of survivors. Our leader, a grizzled engineer named Elias, struggled against the mental dampening field that made complex thought feel like wading through thick syrup. "They think we're predictable," Elias gasped, clutching his temples. "They assume our strength is physical or perhaps emotional." He looked around at the dozen scattered faces of humanity scavengers, ex-military, engineers, all marked by a blend of desperate survival and stubborn refusal to break. The lead Krill scout, whose form shimmered with contained energy, observed us from the bridge viewport. Its voice was transmitted directly into our minds, perfectly modulated, utterly condescending. "Your species exhibits fascinating statistical mediocrity. Your resourcefulness is merely reactive, a predictable cascade of desperation. You lack true optimization." The Krill deployed 3 containment drones. These weren't weapons, they were demonstration pieces, capable of generating localized gravity wells or discharging focused energy beams that would reduce our makeshift shelters to slag. The pressure intensified, the air growing heavy and thick with ionizing radiation. We were trapped between the overwhelming power displayed before us and the crushing weight of their disdain. Panic began to bubble up, a natural human response. A young medic started weeping. 2 soldiers stumbled into each other. It was chaos, precisely what the Krill expected, a messy, disorganized failure. But Elias saw something else. He noticed the crystalline residue left by the drone's energy discharge, unstable ionic compounds that would react violently with specific resonant frequencies. He didn't call for weapons or tactical withdrawal. Instead, he pulled out a small pouch containing mundane, non-military supplies. A handful of industrial sealant rods, 3 links of copper wire scavenged from old power conduits, and several packets of high-grade volatile propellant used in amateur rocketry. "They think we are only useful as pawns," Elias shouted, his voice surprisingly clear despite the psychic pressure. "We're not built for their equations." He didn't attack the drones, he attacked those environments. With synchronized movements that defied exhaustion, the human team began weaving a complex improvisational array. They used the copper wires to create antennae, grounding the sealant rods into structural weaknesses in the shipyard decking. The propellant became the trigger. The Quill observers shifted their attention, sensing deviation from expected parameters. Insubordination is illogical," one projected dismissively. "Illogical?" Elias grinned, a wild, desperate fire in his eyes. "Try this." He triggered the charge. It wasn't an explosion, it was a precisely timed cascade of resonant feedback. The volatile propellant ignited against the unstable ionic residue left by the drones, creating a focused burst of highly discordant sonic energy, a frequency tuned specifically to interfere with the Krill's localized dampening field and their advanced crystalline power matrices. The Aetheric Arbiter groaned. The oppressive psychic pressure snapped like taut wire, releasing us in a gasp of clean air. The drones flickered, overloaded by the unexpected counterfrequency. They didn't explode, they simply ceased to function. The Krill were forced to recoil from their own technology, momentarily blinded and disoriented. We hadn't fought with plasma rifles or orbital strikes. We fought with knowledge, the understanding of chemical reactions, resonance physics, and sheer desperate teamwork. The lead Krill scout stared at the makeshift lattice humming on the deck, its disdain replaced by something akin to confusion. It had categorized us as predictable. It failed utterly to account for ingenuity fueled by nothing but stubborn survival. We had proven that humanity was not merely dust, we were adaptive chaos,